Everyone, welcome to another Facebook Live. I am Maria Mejia.
And I'm Maria Mejia.
Well, that's just awkward.
I think I'm wrong there. No. Oh, yeah, I'm David Pataki.
Old man, it's okay.
Old man.
I forget.
See all the gray?
Becoming senile now.
Yeah. So welcome, everybody. So we finished off our Fact or Fiction. We did 9 series of that. Then we did a little Get to Know Us last week. And this week we're going to jump right into another series. We're going to call this, or this is called, The 7 Costly Tax Mistakes. And each week we are going to deal with, did I say it wrong?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the look on your face. Anyways, so we're going to, for the next 7 weeks, we might actually take a couple weeks off there to deal with something else, but we're going to talk about 7 costly mistakes that pretty much everybody makes through their taxes. So we're here to help you save on your taxes, maybe get a bigger refund. At the end of the day, it's your money and we want to help you keep as much of it as you can. So this week, what are we going to talk about?
So before we jump into what we're going to talk about, small disclaimer here. Since we do work with a lot of solopreneurs, sole proprietorships type things, obviously there are some corporations as well, but we are going to be focusing on individuals' tax returns. So T1s, if you're tax savvy, the individual tax returns, the ones that you get in the mail from Canada Post sometimes if you're into that. But the ones that you have to file every single year by the end of April.
So the T1.
T1.
Whoa!
That's our Spanish word for today.
Un.
Uno. Just like the
No,
game.
French.
Well, who cares about French?
Because we're in Canada. Both. English and French.
Yeah.
No Spanish.
Okay.
Not
Anyways,
yet.
let's just dive right in. Today, we are going to talk about focusing on medical expenses.
Oh, medical expenses?
Medical expenses.
Is that a write-off? Is that an expense? Tell me a bit more about that.
So they are a tax deduction, which means that you can claim it and it will decrease the amount of taxes that you owe. But on the most part, they will not help you increase your actual tax refund. So you won't be getting any money back from the CRA as you claim these medical expenses.
Okay, well, can you explain that a bit more? So are all medical expenses tax deductible, or is there certain ones?
Certain ones. So in reality, pretty much everything that can be considered for a medical purpose is...
Aspirin? Tylenol?
No.
Oh.
Those are very few exceptions there. So when it comes to medications or drugs...
like prescription.
Prescription. They have to be
medication?
prescription medication. They have flu and cold as well as COVID, so any antibiotics that you have to purchase, those you can write off. You can also write off if you have an insurance plan. Here in Ontario, we have OHIP, the government insurance, so you can't claim that because you don't pay into it. But if you have any other personal insurance that you have for you, your family, you can write off.
Like private insurance?
Yeah, you can write off those monthly.
So the monthly fees?
Monthly fees.
Okay.
And if you have to pay extra for something, such as this year I got myself some new glasses, so I can write off my glasses.
Wow, those glasses are so amazing you can't even see them on your face right now.
I'm waiting for my contacts to run out, and then I'm going to start wearing glasses. So those glasses I can write off.
The whole amount then?
Yeah, the whole amount, because it's
Really?
prescription glasses. So if you have normal reading glasses, like regular reading glasses, you can't really write those off.
No, but if they're prescription reading glasses?
Sometimes.
Because before I went into the progressives,
Yeah.
I had prescribed reading glasses that, they were $200-$300 each.
Yeah, if they're medically prescribed,
Okay.
you can write those off.
Not just the Walmart
Yeah, not the Walmart, Costco ones.
$24.99 one, or 97. Sorry, Walmart's always 97. So.
The 10-pack out Costco that my mom always gets. She loses hers. Sorry, Ma. Anyways, something else to keep in mind with medical expenses, like, yeah, they can rack up throughout the whole year. You know, they tally up very fast, but there is also a limit to how much you can claim. So, rule of thumb is if you can rough draft what your income is, multiply that by 3%, and your medical expenses have to exceed that or over to 2,500, a bit over 2,500.
Okay, so let me understand this. If I make $100,000, so my medical expenses need to be over 3%.
Yes, over 3%.
Over the 3%. So if it's not,
So it's,
then it's no benefit to us.
yeah.
Okay, it's good to know.
So you got to keep track of all of those expenses, because like some years you might think like, oh, I don't go to doctors that often, or any other places. You know, you go to, it's like I go to see the eye doctor every 3 to 4 years because my eyes don't really change from year to year. But I'll go to my family doctor every year, every 6 months. I don't know how often you're supposed to be going, but somewhere around there. Those, like, if I have to pay for anything on there, like any tests or things like that, then you can write those off. So keep track of them. But you can claim a certain 12 months that's ending in the year that you're claiming, like the tax year. So for example, this year or next year, 2022, we're going to be doing people's 2021 taxes, so this year's taxes. So any 12 months ending in 2021, they
So
can
it's like
claim
a July
medical
to a
expenses.
July.
Yeah,
But it has to end July 2021.
2021. Yep.
Yeah.
So any expenses between there, if July of 2020,
yep.
if July of 2020, like you had a really big medical expense, but then you were saving it for this year, as long as you didn't claim it last year, you can claim it this year.
Okay, so prescriptions. Now, what about like orthotics or knee braces?
Yeah, if
Like
they're
anything, as long as it's prescribed.
yeah, as long
by
as
a
it's
medical professional.
prescribed. Yep.
So if I prescribe something to you, we can't count that.
No, you can't.
Okay, so
Just so you know, they have to be prescribed by a certified medical practitioner. So eye doctor,
Chiropractors,
dentist,
yeah,
chiropractors. Those
dentists
specialized.
too. Dental work.
Yeah, like if you have to have dental work.
Wow, I'm learning so much, people. I tell you, this is great. Most of the time we've been focusing on business building, but right now we want to help you folks out there with the taxes. And you know what? I think I'm getting just as much out of this as you are right now. So, well, at least I hope so.
Okay. Well, at least someone's learning.
Okay, yeah. So now, how accurate do you need to be? Like, you need to make sure you've got the receipts, and you need to put them in a specific folder and have them ready, or can you kind of estimate that you spent $3,200 or?
No, you need receipts because, you just need receipts. The CRA is always asking for documentation. So if you have the paper receipts, or if you use some kind of software to keep track of your personal familial expenses, if you have an electronic copy, such as like a picture of receipts, then that counts as well as documentation if the CRA comes calling. The CRA does look into medical expenses, childcare expenses a lot. I've gotten a few calls for those. As every now and then, sometimes they'll check into business expenses if they're claimed on your personal tax return, but that one's not as common as some of the other ones.
All right, so as long as you basically know how much, you can claim that, but
Yeah.
you don't need to actually submit the receipts.
No.
Only if they called to check up on you.
Yep.
So it's best to be accurate from the beginning, but if you kind of I guess we don't want to guesstimate.
Yeah.
We never want to guesstimate.
Never guesstimate on your taxes, because if the CRA does come calling and you guesstimated, the CRA is going to take whatever that deduction is out.
And then what happens?
You got to pay more taxes
And-
and penalties and late fees, all that fun stuff. If you use, for example, like Shoppers Drug Marts to fill your prescriptions, they will print off an annual list of how much you paid them. So if you have, I'm sure Costco or other drugstores do the same things. That way you don't have to guesstimate if you're going to the store at random times throughout the year.
Well, I'm just thinking because, I mean, you've talked about orthotics, dental, possibly braces, like knee braces or something like that, but also prescriptions, eye doctor. So it could add up, but I guess the trick is to be aware of that in the beginning and maybe keep a folder, whether it's a physical folder or a folder on your computer or on your phone, and you take pictures of all the receipts as you get them.
Yep, take pictures. Have an electronic and a paper copy if possible. Now I kind of want to get into some of the lesser known medical expenses that are out there. If you have to renovate your home to be able to have it handicap accessible, like to have in like a ramp or one of those lifter chairs, you know, you can deduct those. If you had to do any other renovations, such as putting a handrail in the tub or completely renovating the bathroom, you know, that you can write off as a medical expense.
Okay, I just want to stop you there for a second. Now, what part of that, if I'm not handy and I need to hire someone in to build a ramp for me, is it the entire expense?
Yep, the entire thing. You have to have, obviously, you know, documentation, note on there that, you know, this is to build a ramp for David because he can't walk or things like that. Or he needs a ramp because he's not as agile as the average person is. So have that noted on there.
But again, this needs to be somewhat of a medical professional instigated thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so like if your doctor said, okay, so for example, if David got in an accident, you know, really injured his legs and he, you know, wasn't able to move them as well, go upstairs and things like that, and his doctor said, well, he's not really going to be getting any better, this is his way of life now, then, you know, your wife's going to renovate the house, that way you can move around more easily.
Okay, so interesting.
Yep. As well as any, so I myself am dyslexic, which means I have a learning disability. I can't read or write numbers as well as the average Joe. And so growing up, I had like specialized tutoring for me since I didn't learn the same way as everyone else. My parents could write off that tutoring expenses as medical expenses because I was diagnosed with a learning disability. So anybody who has children, or even if you yourself have some kind of disability and your doctor says, yes, it is hindering you from living like the normal average life, you know, you can write off things to help you with that as well.
Excellent. Very informative, Maria.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Any other possibly unknown or obscure type medical things before we finish off today?
If you feel like your medical expenses are too much to handle, there's also the disability tax credit. And it's a regular credit, just the same as the, I always call it the sales tax credit. The property tax credit, you know, those ones where they just come to you every single month. The child tax credit, where you don't really have to apply too much. The disability one you do have to apply to. Your medical doctor has to fill out a tax form and sign it saying that you have a disability of some sort that is hindering you, a detail of what it is, and if the CRA approves, you get the tax credit where you don't have to pay taxes on that income. Awesome. And sometimes it's for a certain amount of years, but sometimes it's for the rest of your life, depending on what the disability is.
Wow. Awesome.
I know.
Hopefully that wasn't too much information. It was great information. Thank you, Maria. And yes, Maria is the tax expert in our group. I am definitely not, as you can be witness to watching this video, that there's only very minor things I knew about. I will be talking to my wife and my tax preparer on whatever medical expenses that we may have and see what kind of effect that has on our tax return when the time comes.
So thanks for watching, everyone. like, share, subscribe, and leave comments. Let us know if you have a questions on like if something is deductible or not. Let us know, and we will help answer those questions that you have.
100%. And yeah, look for the we're doing the 7 costly tax mistakes every week. It'll go out on Monday, the post. If you have questions or comments that you want to add to it, please put it on there. We'll address it on Thursday as we're doing these live on Thursday. And we look forward to continuing this series.
Yep. We will see you next time.
Till then.
Bye.